It literally, like, I'm surprised. And sorry, Kyle Brandt. Good morning football. I'm calling you out. That was an angry run. It wasn't on the angry runs run. It should have been on there along with Jamal Williams catch. I don't care if it was for 6 yards. He skipped over defenders, shouldered Thomas Davis, and broke through two tackles. Put some angry runs on there, not some soft angry runs.
The last guy I'm going to
Sorry,
bring
had to
up
get
for
that up.
waiver wire pickups is also on a bye this week, and we haven't seen him since the beginning of the season. But Darius Geis has been activated from IR. He is on bye now.
So long, AD owners.
They said he has been working out, getting some rehab stuff done, and
His third knee.
perhaps, I mean, the third knee
God,
is looking questionable at this point. It's a game time decision on the third knee. But
Jesus!
there is a chance Darius Geis plays on their next game versus the New York Jets, November 17th. So there you have it. Those are my top waiver wire pickups for you guys. Zach Pascal, Ronald Jones, Devontae Parker, Darius Geis, Noah Fant, and D's favorite, Kalen Ballage.
Bailey. I love it. So, I don't know. I don't feel good about Chester Rogers. I don't know why.
That's fine. I get it, but I mean,
Would you put him or Demarius
Paris
Thomas in?
Campbell is going to miss some time, so Chester Rogers steps right in there.
Demarius Thomas. What about him?
Nah, I'm good on that.
Oh, you don't want some? You don't think Sam Darnold and his ghosts are going to be running with Demarius?
You bring up a good name to mention, folks. If somehow Ryan Griffin is still on your waiver wire and you are hurting a tight end, Ryan Griffin, not Chris Herndon, who we've all been hoping for to break out. Ryan Griffin's the tight end owned in New York right now, getting it done.
Okay, I got you.
You feel me, dog?
Oh, I am. So, how are you feeling with some of the IR cuts that I brought up earlier? Do you think they're going to affect anything we've seen in fantasy this year?
Some of the IR cuts, such as
that I brought up earlier. I didn't know if that would affect anything. I mean, I know with small names like Quan Alexander, do you hold on to 49ers defense or do you dump them? Especially after what Arizona just did.
No, I think you can hold on to the Niners defense just fine. They've been a pretty solid unit.
Titans defense, Malcolm Butler, corner goes down. He's been playing solid too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Again, I think definitely at this point, it is very important if you're a team that is looking like a playoff team to be combing the defenses and checking out their matchups and seeing who has the best playoff matchups. That is a good point. At this point in the season, you should be maybe not already having them on your bench per se. You know that there's a few weeks left before you can still have depth on your team, but the weeks are going to start coming where you want handcuff running backs and extra defenses on your team.
All right, you answered my questions. Waiting on word from Mr. Molstad. Says he's looking over the trade. So we're waiting to see if he shows up.
Well, we might as well go through the standings of our First and Goal Pod Fantasy League.
You should avoid last place of my division.
While we're at it, this is a fun part where we talk about the record and how things are going. I feel very good about it, considering I just had a big win over our producer, Jay himself. If I had lost, I probably wouldn't want to bring up the standings. But since I won, I'm going to comb through them in order of 10 through 1. At number 10, we have Monraj at the 10 spot, very last, with the Edmonton Bills. At number 9, Miss Julie Voigt with no luck needed. Number 8, we have our co-host himself, Mr. Dave Stager with Geronimo's Tribe. Number 7, we have Chris Rosevlaglu. Number 6, we have Team Southgate. Number 5, we have our very own, not our very own, but the beloved Ryan Molstead of Packers 365, bringing in the middle of the pack. At number 4, we have the producer Jay At number 3, your very own fantasy guru, quickly rising to the top, Mr. Dillon Busby, at Dillon Busby1 on Twitter. Follow me. I'm great. Number 2, we have Average Joe's. And number 1, we have Shady's Moves with a record of 8-1.
Hello?
So what? Did the top 6 teams go to the playoffs, correct?
That is correct.
2 spots out, folks.
You guys,
I'll
you
say
guys
this.
know,
Listen.
you guys know, right? That I want to win.
Here's a quick note, and I bring it up because it's very important, guys. Okay, this is a 10-team league. Your odds are winning, obvious, 1 in 10, right? My fantasy prowess, let's say, is so good it runs in my genes. The first and second place teams are my blood relatives, folks. So I'm just throwing that out there. Just want to say it's not like some bum teams are coming in here getting lucky. No. These are people that listen to me every single day, soak in my knowledge, put it to use, and are now placed first, second,
is Joe the one I met?
Third. Correct.
Oh,
Dylan,
so at least she's fantasy
stop.
picking
Time
a football
out.
team.
Wait, again, if I hadn't been doing what I always do and been yapping my butt off at freaking church afterwards about how, I live in a van down by the river, I would have gotten home to change my team, and your ass not only wouldn't be 1 and 2 and 3, this dude would have been number 2. Mode.
Hey, I mean, that's the way the
rowdy.
cookie crumbled. That's the way the chips fell. That's whatever insert cliche you want, baby. A win is a win. As Vin Diesel says, it doesn't matter inch or a mile.
Man, I was so mad at myself. Singletary had 21 points, and I sat him, and I
It was a tough. Yeah.
I was 4
was a tough
points. 4 points from beating Shady Moves. And Amari Cooper, with 2 minutes left, I was watching that Dallas game, dropped a 35-yard catch. He usually makes. That would have put me, I think it was 0.2, 0.3 from what my math was telling me over Shady Moves.
Yeah, man. Guys got a solid squad.
Yeah, man. When I didn't think I had a chance. All I had was Ingram and Cooper, and then I saw Cooper go for the 45-yarder, and I'm like, oh my god, I might have a chance. And then it broke my heart.
So we might as well go through the 8-1 squad, and I want to caveat this by saying, folks, this particular owner was an auto draft. So yes, the moves have been made since the draft to get where he is right now, but boy, oh boy, things were working in quite a way. The algorithm worked to perfection when it came to auto drafting for this guy. So right now, Matt Stafford, quarterback, not drafted highly. Obviously, I believe he started out with a different quarterback. But the combination of Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook really is what's getting it done for him. I mean, when you have the top 2 ranked running backs to count on every single week. I mean, I had this a few years ago when Zeke and Le'Veon were just running wild every single week. When you have 2 stud running backs who can catch the ball, who can get goal line work, and they're both on successful offenses, that more often than not is the path to a championship. So you take those running backs, you play Stephon Diggs, plugged in Golden Tate, has Mark Andrews, has been dealing with Robert Woods. I mean, has Joe Mixon on the bench. It's been an awful year for Mixon, Alshon Jeffrey, Sammy Watkins, Phillip Lindsay. So, I mean, that's the type of team, folks, that's 8-1 right now. It's a few stud players and then just making moves every single week to fill the holes, and that's what he's been doing.
I mean, yeah, after you went down to the roster, he just has it built, from top to bottom. Even after auto draft and trades, it's just built. Everything's going to give you that constant, consistent performance.
True. I mean, obviously, I personally would like to have more consistent receiver play. I mean, he's got Golden Tate, who has been getting it done, but when you think about playing Golden Tate, it's nothing you feel good about. I mean, It's kind of like throwing a hot dog in a microwave. You're like, well, it's something to eat, but I don't feel good about it. And then you
if it's Oscar Mayer, it's solid.
And then you have, Robert Woods, who's been on a dynamic offense in Sean McVay's system, but Cooper Kupp's been the receiver to own in LA by far. So it's just been playing the odds, but when you have two guys you can set and forget, that's what's nice.
I wish I had that problem.
And we will be right back for more from you. It's time to take a little bit of a longer break here, so we'll be back in about 4 minutes. If you got to go get something to drink or go to the bathroom or whatever, that's the time to do it right now. Be back in a few, guys. And if you haven't had enough of our banter tonight, you want to visit NFL Addictions on Facebook.com for all of your NFL banter and debate. It's not a trash talk site, so keep it clean and keep it cordial. That's NFL Addictions on Facebook.com. And if you still have an itch to scratch when you're done with that, you want to visit Raz Addictions on Facebook.com to play their version of the raffle for all kinds of chances at cool prizes. You can even win some cash. Buy a $10 raffle ticket with a chance at $100. That's a chance to win 10 times your money. It don't get any better than that. That's Raz Addictions on Facebook.com for all kinds of cool prizes. Tell them what you've won, Dave.
I've won everything from NFL tailgating barbecue sets. I've got old school helmets. I've got new style helmets. I've got memorabilia rings. I've got signed banners. I've got signed footballs. I've got everything that Raz Addiction offers, folks. They also have more that I haven't won, which is surprising, but they're cheap, affordable, and they're certified stuffs that you can win. So go ahead and check it out.
That's Raz Addictions on Facebook.com. Go there, play, and win. And now it's time for shout-outs.
We have at Packers 365 with Ryan Molstad, host of the First and Goal 365 post-game show, covers all things Packers with passion and great insight. Then we have Miss at Julie Noted _ PFG NFL writer and co-founder with at Backs Football Guru of at PFG Vibe and PFG Vibecast. Julie is also a Colts writer for at Our Turf Football, a women's group of sports writers with having great pieces and is a great sports follow. Also, we have packtothefuture.com where it features us on their podcast sections where you can get all the things you didn't even know, where you can check out Packers news and check out tickets to the games and even Packer event updates.
At Parker Momos is a Packers writer and contributor for Die Hard Packer Fan, a great young writer with a different view of the game and brings a ton of energy and passion to his work. Then you've got at MontyJP231, the founder and host of the Full Monty Football Show every Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, featured by Nuts and Bolts Sports on blogtalkradio.com. He works hard on Sundays so you don't have to. And follow the rest of the crew too at Greg Cowboys, at Lion Cuban, and at the other George Lopez. Again, that's at MontyJP231 on the Twitter.
We're going to round this out with the NFC North Round Table Fellas. Starting off with at Mike Zimmer's Ears. JB is co-host of the Heart and Skull podcast. Then we have at the Fifth Top. Julius Porter is a Detroit native Lions writer for at Detroit Sports Nation, and Uncle Mike 21. Austin Fugelstad is the co-host of at Hollis Hall Brawl, covering all the things you need to know about the Bears, Vikings, Lions, and Packers from these fellas. Also, special shout out to Julius Porter. He's going over to Afghanistan, folks. He's going over to be a contractor to help set up for the soldiers. Go ahead and keep him in your prayers. We're going to miss you, buddy. We'll be holding a spot for you when you get back. We'll miss you and love you.
Much love, Julius. Stay safe, buddy. And as always, you can follow us on the Twitter at First and Goal Pod, myself at UPJ33, Dave is at Steak and Cheese, the fantasy wonder himself, Dylan at DylanBusby1. Email us at firstandgoalpodcast@yahoo.com with all your football and Packer questions. give us your comments, and you just might end up making the show live. Again, that's First and Goal Pod.